Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Diodola Priantama, and right now to present my PSM revision, which the title is a sentiment analysis on Indonesian tourism perspective toward the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Okay. And this is the outline that will be implemented in this project, which the first is the introduction from background, the aim, objectives, scope of research, the data review, methodology, design implementation, and also the conclusion. And now I want to explain a little bit part about the introduction of this project. On February 24, 2022, the world was shocked by Russia's policy to launch an invasion which was accompanied by aggression in Ukraine, where the invasion became the climax, and also the escalation since the Russia-Ukrainian war in 2014. The invasion also resulted which is around 23,000 lives on both sides, as well as material losses estimated as 575 million US dollars, sorry. And this is the problem background of the project, which is I will summarize it a little bit, which I will be pursued to the three major group will be explained in this project, which should pro with the Russia's policy, pro with against the Ukrainian, the condition of the Ukrainian people, and the people that choose neutral. Knowledge and problem solving. I will explain a little bit the essential part will be that will be explained in this project. This topic is became the hot topics in 2022, especially on Twitter, which the initial Twitter user estimate around 90.5 million users. But there's no empirical enough to conclude the skew of buyer's view of initial Twitter users toward the invasion. Because of that, sentiment analysis is a very efficient technique. It is hoped that it can help process and classify data with accurate conclusion about the tendency of users to initiate to their users to carry out this invasion. And this is the aim that will be implemented in the project, which is the overall is to classify the Twitter users data in the positive, negative, and neutral sentiment. This is the objective. The objective has been rearranged from before, which is the first is study the analysis and based information to the users. The second is to apply the text binding algorithm to pre-process the Twitter data sets. And third is to develop the classification model to identify the sentiment on the Indonesian Twitter users by using the classifier. And the last is the to evaluate the sentiment analysis result by using Bayesian reply information. And there's the scope, which is there is the change before which is consists of the data collection, which the data is collected from the 24th of February to 31 and March 22. In a social media response, which is based on Evlo, there's around 96,000 news articles that have been published. It also happened in Facebook, which is 1.6 million news that has been published, which Instagram has also 70 million views, and the Twitters have the 22,000 account that they talk about this invasion. Now I want to tell a little bit part sentiment analysis. Maybe I just explain in a short way. Sentiment analysis is a process used to determine the opinions, emotion, and also attitudes. They're reflected through the text, which is classified into negative and positive opinion. And this is technically we just implement sentiment analysis. There are two branches up there, two main branches that there's consistent sentiment analysis, but which is mainly used in the naive-Bayes classifier and also the SVM or the super factor machine. Sentiment analysis political spec, which is a majority of the use is the naive-Bayes classifier. Why is it all used? Because the 95% the rationality of the accuracy, which is said by the Setio in 2015. There's also research that the naive-Bayes classifier produced 91% from 1,000 data that is used. That is Pamungkas and Nur in 2013. There are three challenges: sentiment analysis, which is subjectivity in tone, irony and sarcasm, and how to define neutral. Methodology. There are 6 phases in the methodology that will consist in this project, which is the first problem formulation, the second is data collection, the third is data pre-processing, fourth data classification, fifth is performance validation, and the sixth is result part. And it's the framework of the phase 1, which is the problem formulation, which is We just start with the problem formulation and review and ending from the result and discussion. Yeah, there's the extraction, cleaning, export priority, the export later. Yeah, this is the phase 2, which is data collection. In this phase, which is data collection, it will be used by Twin, which is a scrapping tool implemented Python based on scrapping tools from Twitter, without using any API. And this is phase 3, which is data processing, which consists of original data until the lemmatization, which is a concept of 4-part aspect. And this data classification, which it will be used by text block, which the functionality for the classifying the sentiments and calculate the polarity in the tweet text. So into to classify the sentiment and calculate the polarity in the tweet text. Naive-Bayes classifier that I already say before, this is the analysis part. It will be used to utilize the probability and the self-test calculation. Also, it can predict the future probability based on its prior experience. Performance validation. The performance validation will be carried out with the aim of rationalizing data accuracy. Also, it will be depend on the result obtained with classification after implementing the text block classifier in the data sets. Confusion metrics. I will be explaining a little bit part of the confusion metrics, why it will be used in project, because the first is it'll be used for that after the classification. Also, the rational result of the classification is in Naive-Bayes model. And accuracy, impression, recall, and F1 score will be measured to evaluate its performance. And this is the confusion table, the actual predicted TNFP, F1, and TP, and it will be explained later. Accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. This is the legend of the part of the precision, recall, and F1 score that they already explained the previous part, which is TN with the description, F1 with the description also, and the rest. Design implementation. It will discuss a project that comprise the implementation of the tools that has been discussed previously. It only results of the stage and details from the initial stage to the second stage, which is a data collection. That will be presented. And this is the workflow of the project, which is divided into 2 parts, Russia part, Ukraine part, from data crawl until the compression of performance validation. And here's how to crawl the data, which is already told before, by using the Twin, which is first step, by installing Twin, using the Nest Essential, and import Twin and Essential library. And it's data that have been collected, which is the Ukrainian part and also the Russian part. And this data, this is the of data that has been collected. It's for the Russia that is consists of 100 tweets, and the Ukraine that is consists of 97 tweets. And all of that it can be more obtained because this project is still going on. So yeah, data will be obtained soon. Positive, negative classification for Russia data sets. The positive, it will be test that is for the Russia side, and negative that reach to the Russia side, and neutral how to. Sorry, for the neutral is the tweets that show any partiality. That's as well for Ukraine. The positive is will be support the Ukrainian side, the negative is support Ukrainian side, and neutral is the tweets that show partiality. Yeah, the text block. There is already saying the before it will be calculate the polarity, and for the technical issues it will be explained by 5B2. Performance validation, yeah, it's already explained in the previous part, and all of explanation will be also explained in 5B2. Conclusion. So far, it has been successfully achieved in computational stage, starting with the problem formulation, literature review, and experimentation analysis. Total is 170 datasets already found, and the hope of the project is it will be focused on the technical development in third final phase, especially on the implementation of the Naive-Bayes classifier, and also performance validation, which is focused on determining accuracy, F1 score, and precision recall. I think that's all from me for the President 1 presentation revision. And yeah, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.